I listened to the words of my friend Han, and often wondered about the painting of Romy, which Dina painted, before she had passed into the land where there was no winter. I asked Han before he passed, at that time when the leaves turned green, and the birds sang many songs, and the squirrels chased their tails around the trees. Han, yes, my friend, I am still here. Why is the beauty of Romy and her painting so captivating? Why must her story be told? Why is she so beautiful? And why is the painting so important to be exposed to the world? Han then told me one more story before he passed into the land where there is no winter. Listen to me, my friend, Han told me. We have been lied to. The lies are like the weeds in our garden. They must be picked out by the root and the soil of our minds always cultivated. We cannot live by lies, as Alex once said. There is a reason Alex said this. You remember the story I told you before, the one of the country where the sons rejected their fathers and their mothers, and they said there was no God, and they gave themselves to the drunkenness of their own mind. Yes, I told Han, I remember, Han, I remember this. And you told me of your country, which tried to rewrite the history of the world, and how both these countries married one another after great warfare, that warfare which shook the heavens. And Han replied, yes, yes, good, I'm glad someone listens to an old man, he said. Han then continued, in this country, the country where there was no God, there was a program, one which took the children from their mothers. This program is in existence today. This program was begun by a movement. My people progressed further in their foolishness than those in the country where there was no God. In their foolishness, not only did they say that there was no God, they said that man was like a god, and they ate the serpent's fruit. But my old comrade, Vanya, who was born in the country with no God, said before he passed last winter that the lie deceived many people. Now in their country they worship many gods, Vanya once said. And Vanya told me, remove the one true God, and many gods come in. At this I said, continue, my friend, take your time. And Han continued and said, this movement was to create the new old gods. I don't understand, my friend. Han was close to death, but not close enough. He became very emphatic. Beauty. Beauty is the gospel of creation. God is real. God is real. Jesus is real. Once he calmed his soul and his spirit, and I helped him sit upright, and I got him a glass of water, and I realigned the pillow behind his back, supporting his head. His spirit remained turned and high, and he told me, my friend, Romy did not die of illness. Romy died in a spaceship. The new old gods were man-made to deceive the nations. At this, I was completely floored. I had no idea where this is coming from, and Han was sweating bullets. His illness made his nose bleed, and it was about to bleed again. And Han muttered something in German, and I told him, wait, back up, Han, what are you talking about? Go back. Start from the movement first. You're getting ahead of yourself. Beauty, Han told me. Beauty, my friend. The flowers of the field, the beauty of youth, the beauty of humanity, the image of God must be preserved. We must not live in lies anymore. There is only one God, and Jesus is his son. And once he calmed down again, Han began to tell me another story. Romy was abducted as a child. When she was still in her country, she was coerced and then forced to take pills. She was forced into a spaceship, and then the spaceship crashed. This is when beauty ended. We cannot let this lie continue. There are no other gods. Jesus ist Gott. At this, I legitimately began to think that my friend was going a little crazy. Han, I told him, you're not making any sense, my dear friend. You need to back up. And Han told me, you've always had grace with me, my dear friend. You've always cared for me. You must expose the truth. You must preserve beauty. You too have a glorious plan and a beautiful purpose. Han, continue your story, then I will call your niece to come in and feed you. And Han replied, No, I must go to the No Winter Land soon. I must tell you the rest. Okay, Han, continue. And Han continued. My friend, before Vanya's country fell, my country fell, and there were many students in my college who decided to seek refuge in your city, but some of my colleagues went to the No God Land. They were given freedom to conduct and research all of their perversities through experimentation. Han was getting wearied at this point. He was sweating and his nose began to bleed profusely. But he continued, Human. Human. Han, please continue. Don't go. I need you, my friend, I told him. And Han said, Preserve. Preserve beauty, my friend. Let truth be told. Human. Human. And I asked him, Han, what human? Please continue. What is human? What is human? It appeared as if Han had become enlightened again out of his drowsiness. Man is created to worship God only. Human is to carry God's light. Man is not God, he continued. And Han said they did human experimentation. They put Romy in a machine. They gave her pills, uranium. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Listening to Han's story, I was about to piece it together until Han said, She was forced in a machine called a discopter. Another experiment. One from my country made by two brothers named Horton. Vanya's country was running out of money. The war depleted all their funds. The people were poor and starving. All they had were potatoes. There was only several hundred rockets left in their military, and dozens of humans. They had to get rid of both. They fired a rocket to cause panic in your city. This didn't work. Your mighty Air Force shot the rockets down. In desperation, with the help of my foolish colleagues and countrymen, evil countrymen of Vanya, they fired again, this time with two passengers, about the height of a child, Romy and another like her. At this point, I was without words. And once I regained my words, I asked him, Then what? I asked, and he replied, This was propaganda. Human propaganda. Experimentation together in one. There are men that have no fear of God. These men pursue perversities. They commit abominations, commit atrocities. Their foolishness came to an end. They believed in a land called Thule, pure fiction. They needed a god after they expended their ventures. Now your countrymen, my friend, your countrymen are beginning to search for other gods again. Your countrymen think they are their own god. There are people that worship themselves. You cannot let that happen. You must preserve beauty. Okay, Han, I thought to myself, and I told him, I think you need to rest. Then he told me, I will rest when I am dead. My sword is not resting in my hands yet, neither my mental fight will not quit. He responded. And then he continued, and he looked straight into my eyes, his very weary old man eyes, with much life and with the light of life in them. He said, the experiment worked. Your people were panicked all this time, and not even one shot was fired. The story of Vanya, Romy, and Yaav have not been told. Let me pass, only let the story of beauty be told and exposed finally. And I told him, Han, I still don't understand. What does this have to do with the painting of Romy? Why does this involve Dina? Why am I being told about this painting? And why do I need to talk about Dina? Then Han said the unspeakable. And he told me, Dina drew the pictures of others like Romy. Romy had brothers and sisters, and friends and other family members. Romy was not the only child in her family. The painting reveals the truth, the beauty and the evil. Dina's painting of Romy and her beauty tells all. The final piece to the epic of the ages is in this painting. The painting shows the image and shows humanity, the history of humanity. At this, Han began to tear in his eyes. And Han told me, now there are more countries, many countries still experimenting to this day. Our modern age has become barbaric. The year 2024, and we are still barbaric, still pursuing perversities. Do you still read the Bible, my friend? He asked me. Yes, of course I do, Han. And then Han recited scripture from the prophet by memory. And the prophet said, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase until the time of the end, and none shall understand all of the wicked, but the wise shall understand. O Lord, great and dreadful God, keeping covenant with those who love thee, and mercies to those who cherish your commands. And we have sinned and have committed great iniquities. Han began to cry, and his words scattered, as I helped him sit up, but he didn't stop reciting the prophetic words. And we have done great wickedness and depravity, and we have rebelled against thee, and even departing from your precepts. Unto us belongs confusion of faces. And when Han said this line of scripture, I saw the years flash before his eyes, and he recited further from memory. O to us, and to our kings, and to our princes, and our people, we have all sinned against thee, for we have all sinned against thee. Let your anger, O Lord, turn away from our city, and shine your face on us. You, O Lord, even you, reveal the deep and secret things. You know what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with you. I praise you, Lord. At this, Han fell asleep until the next day. I went home this late afternoon, ruminating on everything said about Han. It was that day that I quit my cigarettes. The nagging question, and the pressing issue that still keeps me up at night, even after Han's passing, and what keeps me motivated to share this story is one thing: Dina's painting. Why Romy? What beauty is still there in the painting and in the face of Romy? Why is it being kept under lock and key? Why won't these evil men release the painting of Romy? And further still, the thing that keeps me up at night, and the thing that wakes me up every morning, is Romy's beauty. The message is simple. Beauty must be preserved, and Dina's painting must be given to the world. And Roma's beauty, the beauty of the image of God, the beauty that we see even every day, the beauty that we see whenever the squirrels chase their tails around the oak tree, whenever we see the stars twinkle at night, the beautiful sunset and the glorious morning, the beauty that there is a glorious purpose and a beautiful plan for our lives, the beauty of the image of God as it is found in Jesus Christ. This is truth, and truth will win. As my friend Han said, remember the beauty. And as Alex said, live not by lies.